Hello, welcome to Bjorn Tarot. Today we're just going to be asking, what do you need to know? See if there's any messages for you. As always, take these messages with a grain of salt. Make sure you're making decisions in your life based upon your own knowledge and intuition of people and situations. But hopefully this can prompt introspection or help you see different perspectives. If anything doesn't make sense, probably is not the message for you. But yeah, see what you find helpful. So with that being said, we'll get started. This is going to be group number 1 with the nurse log and this little dog charm. And then we have group number 2 with the sapling and the little mushroom charm. And then we'll have group number 3 with the tomb and the number 1 charm. So if you want to pause, breathe, do what you need to do, tune into each group, try to see where your chest or gut is pulling you so you get the correct group for you. So yeah, we'll get started. And if you guys want to make any suggestions for future pick a card topics, feel free. I'm going to put him there, the dog. Okay. Just see one thing. Okay, so group 1, you chose the nurse log. That's going to be your first card. The nurse log talks about basically in a forest when a tree has fallen and died, the other tree surrounding it and the soil, it provides nutrients to the soil, which the trees then use for years to come and utilize. So it kind of talks about legacy. It talks about what we leave behind, and that doesn't have to be necessarily in passing, but it can just mean what are we leaving behind to offer other support, maybe. Yeah, let's see what else. We also got the goddess of self-sufficiency for your second card. It says nobody's coming to save you, you can save yourself. Okay, interesting with the nurse log card, because this card is kind of more about helping others. You also got, I want to do this one first, enough for now and always, number 30. Threes are about community, also expansion and creativity. It says you are enough, worthiness, faith in needs being met. You are enough, worthiness, faith in needs being met. Okay, I get it. Sorry. Reading that didn't sound right for some reason. But it's basically saying you are good enough as you are. You are worthy. I think what it's saying is like, you are worthy of others' support. I feel like you have to do everything on your own, when really there is support out there for you. And I feel like it's really hard maybe for you to ask for help. But maybe if you're having a hard time right now, you're like getting to a point where you're like, I need help, but at this point, I've been so self-sufficient and independent, like a hyper independence, um, where you're like, nobody's gonna come save me. It's on me to make things happen, or it's on me to make sure my needs are met. Maybe the needs around you are met as well. Yeah, and I almost feel like it just dawned on me, but I almost feel like you give so much to others because you feel like it's all on you, and you might help take care of others, or even animals, or people in different contexts in life. But I feel like you almost give so much that you are this tree who has fallen, and your nutrients are now being absorbed by others around you. So while if that does resonate, while it is good to offer care and support to others, like also make sure your needs are being met, and also start thinking up ways to like tiptoe towards being comfortable requesting support. There's nothing wrong with that. That's in our human nature. So you are enough. I feel like you have some exhaustion right now, but you are worthy of support. You are worthy of having your needs met. So having faith that things are going to work out, that your needs are going to be met. You're not going to go without. You might have some scarcity around keeping track of different things in the material world, or just, it's hard out there right now. So you might be kind of so tired where you feel a little bit deeply like spaced out within yourself, if that makes sense at times. I think from the exhaustion, where you're almost starting to lose faith. And I think it's like if you had more rest, or a better balance as far as what you give and what you receive, I think you would feel better, more supported, and you would know that if you didn't have the capacity to always be completely self-sufficient, that others are there to kind of like have you fall back on them sometimes, and that's okay too. Like there's no shame in that. You also got dream big, and it says let go of small thoughts about yourself, see yourself succeeding. So yeah, I feel like there's also kind of an energy of, you're like very self-sufficient, or it could even be where maybe you're not self-sufficient, and yeah, but I feel like most people watching this, I think it's going to be more of the type who does everything on their own, has a hard time requesting support or help when they need it, and kind of like has a lot of pride in their sense of independence. But yeah, I feel like because you're tired, it's actually taking away from some of your feelings of worthiness, or like positivity, and seeing the future being secure, or wondering if you're ever going to get to a point of stability. That's kind of what I'm seeing so far. Let's pull from the astrology deck to see what else comes out for group 1. If this resonates, this is kind of like an energy check-in. I feel kind of all over the place too, like, and then you see like this mermaid is resting here. It's like, I think you need to rest, and I think also during that rest is when you're going to start to see the light at the end of the tunnel, where you can dream, you can imagine good things for yourself, and you can imagine how you're worthy of certain goals you want to meet, or where you want to be at in life. or you are worthy of like having support. Like I feel like you are usually the one who supports others, you know? But I feel like you really need replenishment. And then with all this blue, it makes me think of water, which is our emotions. But water is replenishing, it's hydrating, and I feel like you really are in need of that right now. What else for group 1, please? What do they need to know? What do they need to think about and consider? So we have the first house and self-body presence, and that is that house is, I guess, ruled by Aries. Is that the right way to say it? So yeah, I think you need to like take action when it comes to taking care of your body, getting back to yourself, replenishing, finding that willpower again, because I do think you're a person who naturally has a lot of like you could be driven at times, or like once you have a goal, like you're gonna follow through with it, that like Aries kind of energy. But yeah, it's like you need to get present in your body. Like I also wanted to say with this dog, it's like there's an element of protection here where I feel like this is a reminder again that you need to have faith in your needs being met, that you are protected, that you are deserving of help and companionship. Dogs often represent companionship, or man's best friend, you know? So I just wanted to say that before I forget. What else for group 1? What do they need to hear? What do they need to consider? Fill this one. Ooh, I guess that one wanted to come out. South Node, past lives, natural gifts, karmic challenges. So I feel like there might be some things emotionally that you might need to revisit and kind of process through that you may have put on the back burner. As far as past lives goes, I'm getting more like like something from your past of this current life that has kind of had a ripple effect on the rest of your life and like the direction of your life, where you need to revisit something and process so you can also try to break that barrier where you feel worthy, you feel capable of moving past this, and feeling worthy of rest too is a big thing. You also got Ceres, which is about self-care, wellness, and agriculture. So I think that, yeah, you guys need to take care of your body, like I was saying before, and rest, replenish. That's been coming up a lot the past few days, but it's in the cards. But yeah, I think you guys really need to kind of get back to basics with like your self-care and like how you're treating your body, how you're prioritizing your health. I know it's hard. We live busy lives, most of us, or some things are out of our control when it comes to our ability to take care of ourselves. But that's why I think it's coming up again that it's okay to request support. It's okay to, you know, be the receiving energy of support. Okay, what else? Going forward, what should group 1 consider to get rest, to find a better balance, to get connected with themselves again, to feel optimism? What do they need to do? What do they need to consider, rather? We have the Page of Wands in reverse. So the pages are a younger, less experienced feminine energy. Doesn't matter your gender. And the wands are the element of fire, which is about action, creation, and willpower. And it's right under this first house, Aries. So I feel like you guys maybe have been nervous or tiptoeing around, like going out on a limb and kind of like being adventurous and like being open to trying new things. And I feel like that might be because of something from the past. You don't want any more challenges in your life, maybe. But yeah, I think you need to kind of turn that page upright, because I think it's created some delays and disappointment, and like where you're not, that was too many cards, where you're not allowing for any risk. So you're not having any new outlets for your creativity as well, or just your sense of like changing things up. Like I feel like you're like, nope, this is what's working, but now I think it's catching up with you and you're feeling really tired, like I said. So it's like I feel like you need to use this Page of Wands in reverse, make it upright, and try to just like make some adaptations in your day-to-day life, in your path. Doesn't have to be everything, you know, all overnight, but let's see what else. Sorry if that's kind of crooked. Group 1, what do they need to know going forward? I'm just going to take this one, the Magician. So that would be the first card in the Major Arcana, number 1. And this is all about creation. It's about getting all the things you need to make something happen. And it's kind of like just what I was saying. It doesn't have to happen all at once overnight. Like it's going to be a process little by little. But with this Magician, this is where you get to a point where all those things are together in one place, and you're able to use that to create, and you are guided by your own inner guidance, if that makes sense. And yeah, I think you guys are more resourceful than you think, and that you will be able to make this new beginning happen, create something new, because I do think you have all the tools. You just they're a little rusty, you know, but they're there. Like I think you're close. Like I think you're closer than you realize if you just get out of your normal routine or something. Group 1. The Lover. So take this as it makes sense to you, but in the context of this reading, like I'm going to interpret that the ring just flew off my thumb. But yeah, this could have something to do with love in your life, where maybe you need to like tie up some loose ends with someone, or maybe that's part of your self-care, is like maybe you have some struggle with like an ex, or something that's causing some blockages. But if it's not that, then I definitely, my first instinct is you're deciding which path to take. This is about a choice of 2 paths we can take. And yeah, I think that makes the most sense in the context of your reading so far, is that you are going to have to come to a point where you're going to either keep going the way you are right now, or you're going to flip the Page of Wands right side up and be adventurous, because you know that that's the right path for you, and you're going to know to follow your inner guidance to make the right decision. That's what I'm seeing for you, Group 1. I really hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you would like to request any specific pick a card topics, or comment, like, I'd really appreciate it. The algorithm is rough. But yes, I hope this was helpful. I'm wishing you the best of luck, and I'll see you hopefully next time. Thanks, group 1. Okay, group 2. Okay, hello group 2. You guys chose this mushroom along with this card, the sapling. So that's going to be your first card. So the sapling is about a tree that is young and growing. The roots have started to grow. And it makes me think of this little mushroom, like the mycelium, how it's all connected, and it's like this web of connection and support. I feel like that's a common theme today overall and yesterday in a lot of the readings I've done. But yes, this is something that is young, it's starting, it's growing. For your second card, we have God of Passion. Curiosity leads to passion, and passion leads to purpose. Yeah, so I feel like there's something in the earth material world that you might be working on that's kind of just taking off, and it's kind of being fueled by passion and curiosity, or at least that might be like what you're thinking about doing if you haven't started already. We also have the dream of co-creation. It says manifestation, divine partnership, frequency alignment. So yeah, I feel like you guys are wanting to or are starting to work in collaboration with someone or others. Or this could also be just pointing out that something that could help you along your passion that you're starting out with or growing, that it would be helpful to involve others in this creation, whatever it is. It doesn't matter what it is in your life that you're creating. You also got make a decision. It says feeling excuse me, feeling stuck or indecisive, listen to your intuition, make a decision. So yeah, it's like follow your inner voice, but I feel like you might be kind of going back and forth on like where to go from here. Like I said, either you are thinking about starting something or you already have started something and you're just like in the early stages of that, but there's some roots that have, established there. So I think you might be like wondering where to go from here, whether it's an idea or whether it's something that's already taken off. So yeah, I think if you already aren't working with someone, I think it's saying work with someone, talk with someone, get other second opinions, maybe by people who kind of like know that field, maybe meditation. Let's see what else comes out. What else for group 2, please? And then with the mushroom, it's like that's just another reminder of like co-creation, like the network of support. So like I feel like networking might be important for this at some point at least. So, and then you got solstice, which is about focus, transition, and amplification. So yeah, I think there is that indecision here. So I feel like there needs to be a focus, and where that focus needs to be is not just staying where you're at because you're stuck. And so you need to focus on like different solutions or possibilities that maybe you've already been like, no, I can't, that's not gonna work. Like, I feel like you need to be open to things that you normally wouldn't necessarily consider. Not in an irresponsible way, but yeah, something needs to be focused on. And I feel like what I'm envisioning is like your focus is on the wrong thing. And in order to transition, in order to amplify, we need to think outside of the box for solutions. Working with others, I think. And then you got, I think you pronounce it palace. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not great with astrology stuff. But this is about wisdom, skill, and self-defense. Okay. So yeah, I think with this coming by this co-creation card, I think it's like I was saying earlier, like, I feel like you might need to talk to someone who has experience in this area, who has wisdom, to help you come to a decision. What else for group 2? I'm going to take this one on the top. So the waxing gibbous moon, nurturing patience and refinement. So yeah, I feel like you need to refine some things. As you go along your process, you're always going to be making adjustments. You're always going to be transitioning at some point to a different stage in your project or your idea or your goal or whatever it is. This is very general reading, so you know, obviously take it how it makes sense to you or doesn't. But yeah, I think you're gonna find a lot of relief and like reassurance and feeling like a weight has been lifted if you do seek out counsel from someone who knows a bit more, because I feel like there's like some missing information that you guys need to take into consideration, and I feel like that's what's going to help you come to a decision on where to go next from here. So how can group 2, this is kind of like energy check-in, but how can group 2 move forward from here? How can group 2 move forward from here with their growing, with their roots spreading, not letting that passion go stale by not keeping in movement from indecision? How do we co-create? How do we shift our focus so we can make the right transitions? Where do we seek the wisdom within ourselves and seeking out from others? And how can we keep the patience along the way? Trees take a long time to grow too. So there is an element of patience where you're like, you know, you're gonna need, this is gonna be a long process, so try to stay as present as you can, and so you can sustain your passion too over time. What does group 2 need to hear? The Magician came out for group 1 as well. So you are creating, the Magician is the manifestation, the manifester. They have all the tools and elements they have gathered to kind of direct that towards making their wishes come true, making their dreams come true. They're, you know, they're backing up what they're manifesting with action, and they're trusting their inner guidance. They're resourceful, they're open, they're not rigid in figuring out how to make things happen. You might want to check out group 1 as well. But yeah, I do think it's a major arcana card as well. I do think you do have what it takes to figure this out and gather all the things you need to make it happen. What does group 1, or sorry, what does group 2 need to know going forward? Group 2. I'm just going to take the one on the top. So we got the 8 of Swords. Don't feel trapped. I feel like there's some detail about this that you're like, well, that's not going to work because XYZ, and then you're back to that indecision, and then your mind goes back to all the self-limiting beliefs and facts that are real, that create challenges for you. But you're not trapped. There is a solution, and it's not going to be as challenging as it feels, as it seems, because I feel like you kind of feel backed into a corner right now, but you need to just like turn a light on and like look around the room, and I think you're going to find the solution a lot easier. I think you just might feel a little bit discouraged, and so you're not seeing the way out, which would help you with your decision on where to go from here. What else for group 2? The Knight of Cups in reverse. So the Knights, this Knight specifically is about communication, usually in the romantic field, but it's usually like an romantic offering. This is a fast moving Knight though, so sometimes as fast as they come in, they can also leave very fast when it seemed like it was going to be something longer lasting. So maybe you tried to work with someone in the past on whatever it is. Again, this could be a wide range of things that you're trying to grow in life, because it's a general reading. But yeah, I think there's some disappointment involving someone coming in before and they weren't reliable and they seemed like they were all in and then they left or didn't hold up their end of the deal type of thing. So I think it's just saying like try to not let that keep you blinded from seeing there's others out there that want to be involved, who value you, value your time, value your vision. So yeah, I think you need to believe in yourself. I think things aren't quite as bad as they seem right now, and with a little bit of patience and showing yourself grace, and being open to like trying to let others in. And here's what you need to remember. Like, if you try to work with someone and it doesn't work out, like, go in with it already having boundaries set up as to how you can know when to be like, okay, this isn't a good collaboration, this isn't working out. That way you don't feel stressed out like you're trapped in that, because you're not. But there is definitely a message of like some kind of person or people or a group coming in who are going to support you, your vision, your dream, and they're also going to offer you words of wisdom that you can consider to get through some of those hurdles. But that's what I see for you, group 2. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching. If you wouldn't mind liking, subscribing. Also feel free to comment if you have any video topic suggestions. I'm always open to that. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys, and I'm wishing you the best of luck. Thank you so much. Hello, group 3. Welcome to your reading. So we're just going to be asking, what do you need to know? What do you need to consider? What are some things to think about right now? Messages for you. So you guys chose the tomb, which is associated with the spirit. And it's kind of like a deep card, you know. Look at the imagery. It's like this is where you're going deep within your own experience and consciousness, and trying to access your subconsciousness so you can come to more understanding, where you can feel more spiritually connected to yourself, or however you want to say it. But there's a lot of emotional depth to this card. There's a lot of deep thinking and feeling and processing. You also got God of the Arts. The world yearns for your personal, unique creativity. What will you create today? Love that. And then we have Begin with Faith in Spring, number 19. That would be like a 1 in numerology, which is about new beginnings, individuality, leadership, opportunity. So yeah, it's like spring is when everything starts growing again. The green comes back, the birds are chirping, and things feel very lively. And so yeah, I feel like you guys are kind of transmuting deep emotional stuff, emotions, thoughts, processing, life experiences. And I think you guys have been through a lot, probably most of you, but you're going to be able to now use that, come through the other side and use that to create. I know that some of you guys are like literal artists, but this could also just be like, what will you create? It doesn't have to be literal art as well, you know. It could be just like, what are you trying to create in the world? How do you want to be involved? And I feel like part of you going into this tomb is you figuring that out, if you don't already have some idea. And I think that's going to bring you to new beginnings, you know, things growing. You're not going to be like stopped up by like negative thoughts of like, oh, I can't do this because of the past, because you're going to have a sense of innocence. You'll have gone through this tomb and you're going to come out feeling rejuvenated and not so maybe weighed down by some of these past experiences or struggles. And you also got explore your options. It's time to look at other possibilities. It's a good time to make changes. And I think the change has to start where it begins with this tomb card. So I think it's really saying that, I feel like this is kind of the energy check-in, but I feel like it's saying most of you, there's a need for you to do some real self-reflection, like deep diving in your own stuff, so you can understand where you need to direct this energy. Or else I just picture someone like sitting in the dark and not, almost like their potential is being drained. But you have to sit in the tomb, you have to process, and there's nothing to be afraid of in the dark. Unless you stay in the dark. I don't know. Okay, let's see what else for group 3. What is group 3? We have supermoon, which is luminosity, intimacy, and hyper awareness. So yeah, I feel like your guys' hyper awareness or anxiety, possibly anxiety, it almost keeps you from it prevents you from seeing things clearly, from being able to be intimate. The hyper awareness keeps you from more true awareness, if that makes sense. Hyper awareness is when you are hyper focused on all the details in front of you, and sometimes that can be so much thought clutter that it keeps you from having those deeper insights and thoughts. But yeah, it's like when you go in that tomb, that's what's gonna bring light to some subconscious things, because it is like moon energy too, so it's like that's our subconscious and our intuition. So I feel like you're going to connect with what you need and where to go, and it's going to lead you the right way. Kind of reminds me of group 1. I told group 2 the same. I feel like these are all been different readings, but there's been a few little things that reminded me of the other readings. What else for group 3? 7th house, which is associated with Libra, partnerships, balanced one-on-one relationships. And then we have green here, which is like growth. So I feel like I feel like this is reminding me of group 2, but I feel like you guys might come across more intimacy. You won't be so hyper aware that you are cutting yourself off from others. I think you facing yourself in that tomb is going to bring more richness to your relationships in your life. Family, friends, romantic, anything. There's a lack of balance in that area, I think, and I feel like some of your art might even be directed at some of those themes for some reason, about transformation and struggle and some kind of lack of balance in relationships. Okay, let's see what else for group 3. This one. Retrograde. Reversal, deceleration, distance. I feel like you need to put some distance on maybe some, only if this makes sense to you, it makes sense to you. If it doesn't, please don't think I'm telling you to like cut people off or something. But I think if you do have some people in your life that cause a lot of disharmony or are related to this tomb energy, this emotional deep wounds, it's not only about our wounds, but that's only a part of it. But if there's someone that is related to this during this time that you're processing, I think it's good to have distance from them. I think you need to slow things down. And this could have to do with love too, honestly, partnerships. It's time to look at other possibilities. So maybe some of you guys are like processing a breakup or going through a breakup. That could definitely be make sense for some of you guys looking at this. But it's just saying here, it's time to look at other possibilities. Where you're at right now, you're not going to stay. Time is always going to keep moving. The wheel is always turning. I have to remind myself that because I don't love change myself. Even when it's good, it's still stressful for some reason. So I think it's just saying like things are going to grow from here. I think you need to put distance on, if that does make sense for some of you, like put distance between yourself and others while you're in this processing stage. Or just like you might just need distance from others in general so you can go alone in this tomb, kind of like if you're familiar with tarot, like the Hermit card. Let's see what else. What should group 3 consider with going in this inner tomb of the self, with putting themselves out there when it comes to sharing their arts, their talents, and their creativity? How do they go forward with this new beginning and see there's other options for them? And how do they put distance? Oops, sorry if that was loud. We have the Wands Ashes, which would be the Ace of Wands in reverse. So I feel like there is actually been a lack of inspiration. There's been some setbacks that kind of like took your energy from your inspiration of this God of the Arts card. And so I feel like that being over the tomb and this supermoon card, I think as you come to more clarity about some of these deeper topics, you are going to regain your inspiration, where it's going to be more like the Ace of Wands in the upright, where you're going to feel a brand new beginning, inspiration, and totally guided by that passion and creation and manifestation. But yeah, I think because there was some delays, some setbacks, some unexpected things, it kind of like took the air or like took the fire from your passions. It kind of was deflating, or it was kind of disappointing. Group 3, what do they need to know going forward? We have the Death in reverse, so don't resist change, don't resist the transformations. It can be scary, but the longer you wait to go in this tomb, to let the old be gone and to process what needs to be processed, so you can transform and transmute that energy into creation. Yeah, you guys need to walk in without fear, because the longer you resist that change or are in denial, see, and then you get the Tower in reverse. So that's pretty similar energy. It's like avoiding change, it's avoiding transformation, it's trying to avoid the inevitable. So I think for some of you guys, this is some kind of like breakup energy, or maybe your tomb stuff has something to do with a past relationship where the hurt still lingers or something like that. But the biggest thing here, getting both of these in reverse, is wild. They're both in the reverse about avoiding disaster, avoiding change, avoiding transformation, avoiding the inevitable pandemonium that needs to happen so you could actually build from stable grounds, so you can have a strong foundation. So I feel like that was like kind of a lot for your last 2 cards, but I feel like it is a positive thing. It's saying don't be afraid of the change, don't be afraid of the inevitable, because you're walking into this tomb and what's coming is spring and a new beginning. So have faith that you can have a new beginning, that you can grow, and you can take that wisdom with you too. And you can also show your gifts, offer your gifts to the world. You have something very unique and creative about you that I feel like has gotten pushed to the side because of this kind of energy. explore your options. So that's what I got for you, group 3. I really hope this was helpful. I'm wishing you the best of luck. And if you wouldn't mind liking the video, commenting, also comment if you have any requests for like certain video topics you'd like to see in the future, and I'll definitely consider those. But yeah, I just really appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a great day. See you next time. Bye.